students. The topic for today is types of chemical reaction. Since we have already done a chemical equation, what is a chemical reaction and how to balance a chemical reaction, I hope you all have completed your work till now, and you have also done the homework and practiced the equations. If you are facing problem in any of the equation or any of the part, children, please let me know so that I can help. Don't sit with your doubts at home. You all have my number. I hope you can, if you do not have, then you can ask your class teacher to send it to you. And please keep on posting your work to me. Keep on sharing your doubts to me so that I can help you out. So the topic for today is types of chemical reaction. The first type is combination or synthesis reaction. As the name itself suggests that this reaction type involves the formation of a product, from two or more reactant. As you can see it from a general equation written here, that A plus B combines to produce AB. Here you can see that two reactants are combining together to produce a single product. In this type of reaction, you will always find that the product formed is single, as you can see here. Another some examples of this type of reaction, some simple examples. First is C plus O2 gives CO2. Here you can see that C is combining with O2 to produce carbon dioxide. Another example is N2 plus 3H2 produces 2NH3. Here also you can see that two reactants are combining together to produce a single product. Since the product are gaseous, so I'm using this sign here. Third example is H2 plus O2 produces H2O. So in all the three examples, you can see that two reactants are combining together to form a single product. I hope this type is clear to you. The name itself can be related to the examples written here. Now the second type of reaction is decombination or decomposition reaction. Decomposition means breaking down. So this reaction is just the reverse of the type 1, that is the combination reaction. This type of reaction requires some energy or some agents in the form of heat, light, electricity, etc. So in this reaction, in this type, what happens? The AB dissociates to produce A plus B, that is AB breaks to give A plus B. So you can see that it is just the reverse of type 1. In that case, A was combining with B to produce AB, and in this AB is undergoing decomposition, or it is breaking down to produce A and B, that is two products. It can produce more than two products also. So now let us see the agents required and some examples also. First agent is heat. Most of the decomposition reactions occur in the presence of heat. For example, magnesium carbonate. This requires heat to decompose into magnesium oxide and CO2. Magnesium oxide is solid and magnesium carbonate is also solid, and CO2 is a gaseous product. So in this case, you can see that one single reactant is breaking down to produce two products. This type of decomposition reaction is known as thermal decomposition. Thermal decomposition. Thermal means heat. So the decomposition which occurs in the presence of heat is known as thermal decomposition. There are many other examples also which I'll take up later on. First of all, I want to make these terms clear to you, these type of reactions clear to you. The second agent is light, and this decomposition reaction occurring in the presence of light is known as photodecomposition. It is known as photodecomposition. Wherever you see this term photo, it means light is involved. So what happens in this case, you can see AgCl is dissociating in the presence of sunlight to produce Ag and chlorine gas. Ag is in the form of silvery gray product and chlorine is in the form of greenish yellow gas. Greenish yellow gas. Children, wherever I'm telling you the observations, please keep a note of it, because practical based questions in your board exams are basically about the color change that occurs during the course of a reaction. And another reaction, that is AgBr, is again dissociating or undergoing decomposition in the presence of sunlight. Here also you will find Ag in the form of silvery gray product and bromine in the form of brown vapors. It is in the form of brown vapors. I hope you all are writing down the notes also along with me. And please children, whatever I am telling you, I want each and every one of you to keep a note of it and keep noting it down. Now the third agent is electricity. Electricity. Now the decomposition occurring in the presence of electricity is known as electrolysis. It is known as electrolysis. This is also known as photolysis. Now, electro means electricity, lysis means breaking down. Lysis means breaking down. So, in this, obviously, since I'm talking about electricity, the decomposition will occur in the presence of electric current, as in case of electrolysis of H2O, that is water. When an electric spark is passed through water, what happens? It dissociates to produce 2 volume of hydrogen and 1 volume of oxygen. Why am I using this term volume? Volume means whatever volume of water you are taking here. If you can see, as in this example, 2 volume of water is taken here, and the product produced here is 2 volume of hydrogen and 1 volume of oxygen. Volume here means the number of moles. Number of moles is directly proportional to volume when the pressure and temperature remains constant. So you can see here that 2 moles of H2O is producing 2 moles of hydrogen and 1 mole of oxygen. Mole is a term that you must have done in class 9. So here I am relating volume with number of moles, considering that temperature and pressure are constant. So I hope the three agents, the three type of energy which I used for the decomposition of a reaction is clear to you. Now the next type of reaction is displacement reaction. In this type of reaction, that is in displacement reaction, what happens? A more reactive element displaces a less reactive element from its compound. In general, we can say that A is reacting with BC to produce AC plus B. So what has happened here? A has kicked off B from this compound because A is more reactive than B. So it has displaced B from here and it has combined with C to form a new product here, as you can see. So a more reactive element displaces a less reactive element from its compound, and the type of reaction is known as displacement reaction. Now to identify that which one is more reactive and which one is less reactive, we have a series. We have a metal reactivity series with us, and I've written the series here. This series is very important. You will be using this series even in class 12. So please children, I would request you all to learn this series. The series is potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, lead, hydrogen, copper, mercury, silver, platinum and gold. So these are the elements. Okay. Now how to remember this? K is king, Na is Napoleon, Ca is came, Mg is marching, Al is along, zinc is Zambia, Fe is following, Pb is Padmini, H is he, and copper is calls, Hg is her, Ag is angelic, Pt is pearl, Au is again. So this is just a way of learning the series. That is, King Napoleon came marching along Zambia, following Padmini, he calls her angelic pearl again. So by remembering this, you can simply recall the elements in the correct order. The elements are arranged in decreasing order of reactivity. The elements are arranged, or atoms, metals are arranged in decreasing order of their reactivity. Like you can say that the elements present above hydrogen. Hydrogen here is used as a reference non-metal. The elements present above hydrogen can displace hydrogen from its compound, and the metals present below hydrogen cannot displace hydrogen from its compound. Now let us take an example. Like zinc, when reacts with HCl, what will be the product? You can see here that zinc is present above hydrogen. So zinc has the power to displace hydrogen from this acid. So what will happen? Zinc will displace hydrogen and it will form the product ZnCl2 plus H2. Hydrogen gas will be evolved. Some more examples that I would like to share with you to make this type of reaction clear. Like if I react Cu with H2SO4 and also aluminium with H2SO4, what will be the difference in these two type of reactants or the reactions that is occurring? You can see here that the compound that I took is H2SO4 in both the cases, but the copper is present below hydrogen in this series, whereas aluminium is present above hydrogen in this series. So obviously aluminium will have the power to displace hydrogen from its compound, whereas copper cannot. So this reaction will not occur. Whereas in this case the product will be formed Al2SO4 whole thrice plus H2. You can balance this reaction. You can see here that aluminium used here is 2. So we will make it also 2. Sulfate here is 3. So we will make this also 3, but hydrogen is getting disturbed. Hydrogen is 6 here. So to make it 6, we will substitute 3 here. I hope the equation is clear to you. Similarly, there is an activity, there is an example in your book, in your NCERT book, where iron nail is dipped in copper sulfate solution. If we take a beaker and fill it with copper sulfate solution, what will happen? Nothing. But at the same time, if you are dipping iron nail in it, this is iron nail. This is an example from your NCERT book. Copper sulfate solution is blue in color. Please do remember this. Okay. So what do you think? Iron is more reactive than copper or no? If I just write the reactant here, the reactants are as follows. Fe plus CuSO4. Fe plus CuSO4. So what will be the product? Fe being more reactive than copper will displace copper from its compound. So the product will be FeSO4 plus Cu. Now, since CuSO4, which was earlier blue in color, cannot be seen in product, and the new product which is formed is FeSO4. So obviously the blue color will fade away. Why? Because a new product product, that is FeSO4, will be formed, and this new compound is light green in color. Light green in color, and copper will be in the form of brown deposition over the iron nail. So here you can see that there is change in color during the reaction which can be observed, and this is a very important activity and reaction for your board exam also, because most of the times it has been asked in the form of give reason or to complete the reaction or to state the observation. So what happens here, when you are dipping in iron nail in a copper sulfate solution which is otherwise blue in color, after some time you will observe that the blue color of copper sulfate solution is fading away, or it is turning into pale green color, and there on the iron nail you will observe there is a brown color deposition which is due to the formation of copper, and the reaction that occurs is Fe plus CuSO4. This is Cu. Fe plus CuSO4 gives FeSO4 plus copper. So this brown deposition over the iron nail is due to this copper, which is the product, and the color of copper sulfate fades away from blue to light green due to the formation of a new product which is FeSO4. So children, I will be discussing some more examples of the 3 type of reactions, and we will be moving to the 4th type of reaction also, that is the double decomposition reaction. Till then you revise these reactions to revise the activities from NCERT book and discuss your doubts. I hope today's lecture is clear to you. Children, wherever you find difficulty, feel free to discuss it with your teacher, with me, and keep updated your work. Okay.